Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. Today, we have a self-proclaimed health nut, co-founder of FacePop, two-time NAACP award winner, and I'm proud to say this one, from Inglewood, California. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now in a session with Kareem Grimes. Kareem!
What's going on, my brother? What's up?
How you doing, man?
Hey, man, listen. I woke up, everything else is a cherry on top right now, with dealing with everything, I'm alive, man. My family's good, so I can't complain.
And you speaking about waking up. So we like to start our shows off with asking our guests, what inspired you this morning when you woke up?
Oh, man, I think just giving another chance to, take another crack at it, of just being the best version of myself. But I think in these times right now is to be able to use my platform to educate those who are not Black on why things are this way. I mean, I was using my platform before, but now it's a bigger audience that I'm able to, disseminate information. That's what motivates me, man. To just get up every day, just to, like I said, be a better version of myself, but also at least try to touch one person.
Man, that's definitely important. And I know we're gonna speak about, the show you're on and everything.
Absolutely.
But being from Inglewood, California, what impact does saying from being from Inglewood, California, being in this industry and during this time, what impact does that have on you and that you try to put out into the world? As
just an artist in this industry, to know that, hey, I came from Inglewood, California, and I'm proud and I'm repping it. We hear so many stories, of gang banging and this and that. And, my opportunity, I just found a little early of what I wanted to do, and just kind of, entrench myself in that. And, here we are today.
Yeah. And you not only being from Inglewood, but your first role was in Boyz N The Hood, working with the late, great John Singleton, Ice Cube.
Absolutely. I just remember being on set. I remember seeing, Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett, and being there for that, and Ice Cube, rapping a few bars of How to Survive in South Central to John Singleton, because he was like, yo, I've been working on this song for the soundtrack of the movie, and he literally spit like a couple of bars from it, and I was just like in the middle of the circle looking up at Ice Cube in awe, like, yo, this is crazy. See, back in the day, when you went to a premiere, you got a booklet. You got a booklet of the movie and the whole nine, and people who were in it. I still have mine. My name is in that booklet, and that right there, I cherish.
Yeah, that's speaking of. I mean, we talk about Ice Cube. You see every show I have a classic album.
Yeah.
And I had to put the NWA album up there for you.
And the crazy thing, that album relates to what's going on right now. Right now. People are like, oh my God, NWA, niggas with attitudes, oh my God. But it's just like, are you really listening to what they're saying? Because what they're saying back in the 80s is still relevant in 2020.
Searching my car, looking for the product, thinking every nigga is selling narcotics.
I mean, and also, like, they're saying it to this day.
Listen, it still relates. It still relates today. Isn't that crazy?
That is like crazy.
It's like now. It's like people, y'all believe us now? We've been talking about this through music, through art, through movies. We've been talking about this forever and a day. Y'all believe us now, right?
They probably do believe us, but they want to change it and push it to something else, right? As artists, we're in these rooms, and we hear the conversations, and we know the process of how they picking out different artists for different things, and what type of roles you have to play, and how you have to look and how you have to walk. Like, majority of the people don't look like us.
Exactly.
But they're telling us who we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to think, how we're supposed to talk, how we're supposed to walk, and we're putting this to the masses. And so for you to be able to have your first role, like your first actual gig and the job, first premiere, first everything, to be under the late great John Singleton, I mean, just the fire that lit under you. Talk about that. At what age were you at, and how did that fire?
12. I was
Oh,
12, 13, man. And you know, from that point on, man, it was like, yo, it's go time. And you know,
Mm-hmm.
I just remember, you know, every summer and just throughout the school year going to Marla Gibbs acting class. You know, big shout out to Marla Gibbs and Angela Gibbs, which is Marla's daughter. That's my foundation. You know, that's my foundation for my acting career. You know, I was getting, you know, I was getting toolage from Marla Gibbs and Whitman Mayo, who played Grady on Sanford and Son, and you know, Ed Cambridge. You know, Google, these are black actors who were
Yeah.
legends.
I was
You know
gonna
what
say
I'm saying? So
the tree you sat under
yeah,
is
yeah,
an incredible.
absolutely. So you know, these are the people who, you know, who I learned from as a young man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you know, those teachings and those nuggets I still, you know, I still use today.
Yeah, and I mean we see that, and we're gonna dive into a little bit of meat of the career in a little bit, but
Hmm.
we see that in the present and
Yeah,
with All-Americans, and you
yeah,
playing Preach,
yeah.
and so you play Preach, which is more like a big brother, big homie to Coop.
Y'all heard what you said. See, I live by a different code out here in these streets, so I handle things differently. But I get that you did what you felt you had to do to stop the violence. Ain't nobody in the crew gonna bother you or your girl anymore. Free, Coop. Just keep your distance.
Where do you pull that from? Because I mean, you see you play the character, and it's such a it's an acting up thing as we like to
Hmm.
call it, but like it's
Hmm.
a maturity which you already have in your stature just at knowing you as a person, but
Hmm.
like to portray that in this character, where are you actually pulling from, or are you just literally being more of yourself with a little bit of Preach added to it?
Yeah, yeah. I think every artist, you find something that you connect to with any character that you do, and there's a little bit of you. You know, being born and raised in Inglewood and growing up in South Central, I think we've all met preachers
Hmm.
in our life. You know what I'm saying? Where it was
Yeah.
somebody big homie, or it was somebody who, you know, who gang bang, did some time, came out a different person trying to get their life on, you know, on track,
Yeah.
and you know, will definitely step in and say, nah, don't do that. I did that. This leads to this consequence. You know what I'm saying? Think of a better way. You know, so for me, you know, I grew up with a bunch of preachers. You know, preachers looked out after me to make sure I didn't gang bang. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So for me, it was very easy to draw upon, you know, people that I have run across in my life, you know, and put that in this character. You know, at the end of the day, I think, you know, society looks at these people as, you know, bad apples, and you know, they don't believe in second chances. But you know, Preach is the type of character, man, where he got a second chance while he was in, you know, while he was in jail. He read a lot of books, you know, so self-taught, self-educated, and you
Hmm.
know, he tries to live a life of, you know, not being violent. But if you get on his bad side, you know, he will take it there. And we saw that, you know, with him and Coop. You know, he tells Coop, hey, you may want to think about this, or you may not want to do this. She goes and does it. You know, she's like, yo, I need some help because somebody did something wrong. And it's like, all right, that's my little sis. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'm not gonna let nothing happen to her. And then, you know, they can take it, you know, from 0 to 100 real quick. So,
we
but
see that.
that
Yeah.
whole, yeah, that whole character preaching Coop is, it's a big brother, little sister, big homie, little homie relationship, to where it may not be said, hey, I care for you, I love you, you know, through verbal communication, but through action, it's shown that, you know, he cares for
Now, to speak on that, to speak on saying, actually telling, in our community, I feel like, especially a lot of men to men, it's changing over, but it's hard to hear "I love you," but we do it through
her.
action.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you could feel the love, but to
Mm-hmm.
actually hear it just on a personal thing, I remember like my dad like texted me "I love you" not too long ago, and I was just like, "What? Like, you never tell me you love me." Like, what? Like, but even it hits, and I know he loves me, but him saying it, or even just texting
it's a different.
Do you feel, just as a Black man and as somebody that has, you know, seen a lot through his time and been not only been, you know, through Inglewood, but also through this industry, do you feel that as Black men we need to come together more and say it more, especially in this time, and show our reach over the aisle and show our brothers that, you know, we love them?
I say it a lot. I mean, anybody that knows me, man, you know, I you know, I don't throw it around freely, but when I say it, I mean it. And I actually look at this, you know, I actually look at my friends and brothers that I come in contact with and say, brother, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be just that word and actually acknowledgement of, I see you, brother. I'm looking at you. I'm present and I see you, which can go a long way. You know, that's just like a hug. You know what I'm saying? A hug can go a long way. That's a non-verbal thing. But if I come up to you and just give you a hug, that's me acknowledging you and saying, I see you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Let me go on to give you this hug. And that can go a long way. So, you know, for me, anybody that knows me, that sees me, comes in contact with me, you definitely going to get a hug. You definitely going to get, you know, eye contact, me acknowledging you and seeing you, you know, right here, right now, and I love you afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that goes a long way, man. A lot of us, like you said, you haven't gotten that from your dad. You get a text and you like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? But to be able to get that, you know, on a daily basis, or anytime you come in contact, you know, with you know, your brother and sister, that goes a long way. My dad was like that, man. I just remember my dad was a bus driver. And, you know, he used to be a bus driver for the RTD, you know, and that's going way back. It's now the Metro, but we call it the Richard T. Davis, or the rough, tough, and dirty. You know what I'm saying? So my dad was a bus driver, and my dad, if he, you know, if you were at a bus stop and you didn't have no money to get on the bus, my dad was like, come on, and give you a transfer. You know what I'm saying? So that rubbed off on me. My dad knew everybody, and everybody knew my dad. You know what I'm saying? So for me, growing up and going on, you know, routes with him and just being in the car with him, of every person he came in contact with, you know, it was, hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? They was the fist, or, you know, what's going on, blood? You know what I'm saying? And that back then, that was a term of endearment. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't on no gang, nothing. It was just, hey, what's going on, blood? And, you know, that's just what it is. And that's what, you know, transferred to me of why my personality is like that, is that I know a lot of people know me, and it's all love, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I give, period.
That's
period, man. So, you know, it don't cost nothing to smile, brother.
It don't. And I think, you know, we're starting to see it more and more, and how important it is to actually, you know, say it, smile. I know when I did go out, you know, when I was out trying to move around during the whole pandemic thing, and I did see, you know, a brother, and it was just like, what's up, brother? Like, it was legitly like, what's up, man?
Yeah,
like,
I see you.
Yeah, I see you. You see me, and it's love. It's good. And that was a beautiful feeling. And so, you know, we see a lot of our brothers and sisters come together now and fighting the good fight and putting boots on the ground, from being on the front lines to either online and sharing the narrative, whatever the case may be. So
absolutely,
I definitely wanted to speak on that. That wasn't even one of the questions that I had planned, but I definitely wanted to speak on that.
Yeah.
But back to All-Americans, man. So All-Americans debuted in October 2018 on CW, and then season 2 came, and it averaged about 1.1 million viewers, and it was placed around 201st place in our demographic, which is the 1849 demo. But during the pandemic, we seen All-Americans explode and actually not only just trend over a month, 2 months in the top 10 on Netflix, but it actually was holding the #1 spot for quite some time.
Absolutely.
As Preach, as you know, you playing a character, Preach, have you felt that impact? Have you felt the growth from that?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, man. I think I felt it. I felt it immediately, and I kind of knew we were going to, because the first season trended last time, and I think that's what got us a second season.
Hmm.
And I knew once we went to Netflix, I had a feeling that, we were definitely going to get that new eyes again. But those
Hmm.
hardcore fans to be like, oh my God, now I can binge watch this whole show from beginning to the end, man. And we knew, but we didn't know in this capacity. And because of COVID, the blessing in it is that we did get, so many more eyes and so many more fans, and people discovering this show, man. It's simply amazing, man. And I think that's the blessing, is that people in the industry was hitting me up like, yo, I just saw this show, man. I didn't even know you was in it. You know what I'm saying? Or, man, this show is so good, it's so well written, and it's real. You know what I'm saying? So that's been a blessing, man. And I knew it, but I didn't know it was going to be to this magnitude. And it's, like I said, it's a blessing, man. Even through this COVID and quarantine, like I said, for me to be able to get new fans and admirers and things of that nature, it's a blessing. And I've been using this time to kind of reach back and connect with those people and just thank them personally for taking the time out to watch the show, but also just taking the time out to hit me up.
Yeah, I mean, and we look, as a fan of CW, just I'm a big Flash, Arrow, and like comic book fan,
Mm-hmm,
Black
mm-hmm,
Lightning,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
for All Americans, I remember when they announced you guys in the show lineup, and I'm like,
mm-hmm,
all right, this is gonna be interesting. Like they put this,
mm-hmm,
this
mm-hmm.
should be a more Fox show or something like that, or
Right,
FX show,
right,
right?
right, right.
But see how long you guys not only have lasted, but really planted like your feet in the ground over at
Mm-hmm,
CW and
mm-hmm.
carve out, not only like gain that audience, but carve out your own. And to me, it's
Yeah,
only you guys and Black Lightning being the predominantly African American show that's on that
yeah.
channel.
The only
Um,
two African American shows,
yeah,
absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
Like and so I just think on here we like giving our flowers to our inspirations and the people that
Mm-hmm.
inspire us. So I just want to give my flowers to you right now. I mean, I know we
I
bump into
appreciate
each
that,
other,
brother.
but it's still like
Thank
now in
you.
front of everybody that's watching
Yeah.
and listening.
Thank you, man. I
Um,
appreciate that, brother.
no problem. I want to just ask the impact on that because you said it, like the two African American shows.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you? Like seeing that?
I think it's representation. I think,
Mm-hmm.
big shout out to Nkechi Okoro. She's the showrunner.
Okay.
She is our fearless leader. She's done an amazing job coming on this show. She came in last season, kind of like midway, and she's
Mm-hmm.
really just taking this show to another level, man. And her being a black woman and her having two black boys, it's about representation, man. And I think that has been, missing in this business. And just as just people, we want to be able to see characters and look at ourselves and be a reflection, and I think All American does that. And I think what's so popular about it and what makes it good is that it gives you the good and bad in both. Beverly Hills, there's bad stuff that happens in Beverly Hills, there's good stuff that happen in Crenshaw, and vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. So I think it gives a balance, but it also gives representation, man.
Yeah, that is important. I didn't even know she
Yeah,
was a black showrunner. So I mean,
absolutely. And we
there
got and we
is
got and we got black writers on the show. We got young black writers. I'm talking about like these brothers and sisters are like 20s, man.
that's
Mid to late 20s. So that's why the show is good, man.
yeah,
We got young brothers and sisters in the writers' room, man.
and we see it because we see it trending, and I mean we could see shows trending here and now just because
Mm-hmm.
of whatever, because of a hot
Mm-hmm.
episode or a hot topic or maybe even a hot actor, right? Like we
Mm-hmm.
see that, but I think with you guys, it was a thing of when I started to see, I knew All Americans was really here to stay when I started to see people from all races and ethnicities doing parody videos from it,
Yep.
and
Yep.
actually reenacting and knowing the tones of Preach and Coop and all the other characters and the relationships between them. That was like, oh, we're in it. Like this is a real thing. And to know that there is, young Black writers on there, and there's a Black showrunner. We could count on one hand how many Black showrunners there is on a major network. So that's important, man. And so kudos to her, kudos to your whole team for that. You talked about like you never not have a job. Like you're always, and not talking about industry stuff, because look, I could talk days about the credits you have, and you guys could go Google his name and look at his IMDb and see that everything from SWAT and everything. I'm not gonna go there, but I'm talking about outside the industry. You saying you never had a job, like never not had a job.
Yeah, man. I've been working ever since I can work, dude. My first job outside of the industry was I worked at Baldwin Hills Theater, and I was on the Brand Coliseum.
Yeah,
I was able to walk. Well, no, this is before Magic.
Yeah,
this was a Black owned theater. That was right on La Brea and Coliseum. And it's where it used to be a Chase Bank, but I think I forgot what it is now. But it's like a clinic and a pizza place and a Philly cheesesteak. But that was my first job, working at a theater. And I've always just had a job, because this industry, you just can't, they talk about a starving actor, and I just didn't want to be that, so I've always had a job, because while you're pursuing your career, bills are still coming. You know what I mean? They don't take a day off. So, you always have to have, another stream of income. And I just truly believe that. And, I've just always had it, man. I've had it up until, they shut down Hollywood. I was working as a production assistant, a talent wrangler on Master Chef, which I've been doing for the past 8 seasons. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. I was a talent wrangler on Master Chef, and I did that like right when we wrapped in January. We started late February. I jumped on Master Chef as a talent wrangler, and I've been doing it for 8 seasons.
Man, and this is with you having you're on a hit show.
Yeah.
On a network hit show.
Yeah.
And you're still on, as soon as you rap, and you're on to being a talent wrangler for another hit show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's it's ego, man. Once you set aside the ego, you'll be surprised what you can do, man. Because I think sometimes we get caught up in Hollywood, and I don't want nobody to see our work over here, and I'm on this show. I don't give a damn.
Right.
You can see me on a hit TV show, and I may be at a function, handing out free stuff. That's just what it is. I have no shame in my game at all.
So before we get out of here, I usually like to do a lightning round, but I think with you, I want to ask you, what's your favorite monologue, and could you give us a couple of lines from it?
Ooh, a monologue. Ooh, Lord, there's so many. Jeez Louise, brother. You put me on the spot with that one. Man. Here's the crazy thing. I'll say this. Because I had to I still got this one on my mind. It's not a monologue per se, but it's a scene from a TV show where this guy lost his wife to PTSD, and I had to do that. So it's literally fresh on my mind. But he talks about the good times of his wife, and how she was such a stud, and she always felt like she needed to be a part of something. So when she became a civilian, it was very hard for her, because she was always so active. And Yeah, that's the scene that, because I just did it. I had to put myself on tape for it. So that's what's in my mind still. And I'm trying to see if I can it's man, we had some good times. We met in the core, fell in love, got out, got our own place. But she needed to feel like she was a part of something. She was a stud over there overseas. Special ops operation. Always in the thick of it. When she got out, she didn't know what to do to be a civilian. I remember her not even sleeping in the bed with me. She always wanted to sleep outside on the balcony. Then she found a job doing some gardening, but she never lasted long because she always felt like she needed to be in the thick of it, doing something. Then she did drugs and drinking, but I just didn't know how to help her. So she went to AA meetings. That never helped. I just kind of figured she would hit rock bottom and then we can start all over again, but that never happened. That's all I got.
Man, thank you.
Thank
you for that.
Man.
Is there anything you need to plug, want to say?
Yeah. If you haven't watched All-American, watch it. It's on Netflix, season 1 and 2. I also have another film out called Shepherd. It's on Apple TV and Amazon. It's a thriller. And, just continue to stick and stay. Just once this whole COVID thing goes away or dies down, we're back to shoot season 3 of All-Americans. So, stick around. That'll be January 2021. You'll start to see, but I'm excited, man. I'm optimistic, even with everything going on right now. I think this is the time of, reflecting, but also to, using your platform to educate and keep people aware of what's going on in this country. And, fighting for equal rights, man. Still, we're doing it in 2020, so, my mission is to use my platform to the best of my ability to educate and let people know about the social ills that's going on in this country. And, how we can, have our allies to speak up on behalf of Black people as well.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate the inspiration. I appreciate the love every time we bump into each other, man.
Absolutely.
Nothing but positive energy and love towards you and all your amazing successes that you have already and that's about to come your way, man.
Thank you, brother.
Nah, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now been in a session with Kareem Grimes.
My man, appreciate you, brother. Love you.